Hey guys, welcome to the Retro Gaming Junction. This is Camilio. We're live on Twitch pretty much every day, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We're starting our game of King's Quest 6. Here today, gone tomorrow. It's a pretty bad subtitle. This only refers to the opening of the game. We're gonna jump into the cutscene. It's pretty long. Long ago in the castle of a kingdom called Daventry.
Alexander, here you are. Oh, you're still not thinking about Cosima, are you?
I suppose I am.
Son, it's been months. You've got to pull yourself together. After all, you only met her that once.
I know.
Have you discovered anything about the land of the Green Isles?
No. No one's even heard of it. It's like she's just vanished.
I wish I could help. Please try to think about something else, dear.
I'll try, Mother.
Despite his family's concern, Alexander remains tormented by thoughts of Cosima.
Alexander, I feel so alone. I don't know what to do. Alexander, I wish you were here.
Cosima! Wait! Mother! Mother, come quick!
Alexander, what on earth? You're white as a ghost.
Mother, I saw Cosima. She was in the mirror.
In the mirror? The magic mirror?
Yes! And it showed me how to find her.
How?
The stars! I saw the stars outside her window. I can navigate by the stars.
Oh, Alexander, if you really go...
It will be all right, Mother. I promise.
3 long months Prince Alexander sailed the known seas and beyond.
Land ho! Land ho! Land ho!
Like, this is taking too long. Hey, good evening, Play Jack. Hours pass. And this cutscene feels so different from the art of the rest of the game. Could have been like, this costs money. I don't know if it was very expensive. Doesn't look expensive. Looks kind of cheap cutscene. It actually looks kind of slapped together. As the ship nears the shore, day turns to night and the sea turns violent. Especially that part when they were in the castle. And then this is gonna take like 5 minutes again. King's Quest. King's Quest. Only King's Quest. It's not. It's the first one. It's the wrong game. And I would like to skip this cutscene, this credit scene. But if I do, we'll skip the end part where he wakes up on the beach and he says something. If you just hit play at the beginning, you don't get that. It's kind of dumb. Jane Jensen, which wrote this, directed this also, with Roberta, of course. She's the one who wrote and directed Gabriel Knight. But before Gabriel Knight, she did this. Maybe just to get with the... Hey, Bad Flow, good evening! So she's the only one who wrote the text and dialogue. So if the text is so good in this game, and I think it is, it's because of her. Because the other games, the writing was very, very meh. We're using MT32 as music with the voices. I could have put the high resolution icons.
Alexander awakens to find himself on an unfamiliar beach. For a moment, he is too dazed to remember how he got here. Then, he does remember. The shipwreck, the sea. Just as he had seen his men safely into the lifeboats, a gigantic wave picked him up and tossed him overboard into the churning sea. That was the last he'd seen of his crew. Debris from the shipwreck is scattered along the shore, but of the lifeboats and his men, there is thankfully no trace. He can only hope and pray that the lifeboats survived the currents, and that his men made their way safely back to Daventry.
Yeah, we could have played with the... This is fast enough. With the... Like, these icons would be a little higher resolution, but I don't think they look that great in higher resolution. The portrait, same thing, and for some reason it also messes up the aspect ratio of the game. Like the Sierra logo at the beginning is just slightly not round, and it bugs me. And this is essentially the version I played when I was young. I played the floppy version, so there was no voice. I've heard voices of this game.
Alexander's royal insignia ring lies abandoned on the sand. It must have slipped from his finger during the shipwreck. Fortunately, it was not lost in the sea. Alexander picks up his royal insignia ring from the beach. Alexander feels the remains of Alexander's sailing ship lie dashed upon the distant shore. The remains rocks abound on the island. The beach is covered with a fine the sand is warm to the touch. Alexander has no taste. The ocean is not as calm as it appears. Underwater currents tug at Alexander's legs.
What happens if I go in
The
there?
underwater before Alexander can retreat, the current grabs his legs. The shifting sand vanishes from beneath his feet. Against his best efforts, he is dragged out to sea. The currents around the island pull Alexander under.
Oh no!
As Alexander struggles to the surface for the third and last time, he finds himself wishing he'd paid more attention to the warning signs of an undertow.
Tickets only. Next.
Nothing like getting swept off your feet.
You'll understand this scene later in the game. I want to do something.
Taking off your...
Yeah, the voices are a little bit too loud. Yeah. Ah, shit. Oh, you know what? Fuck, man. I'm just gonna go directly from here.
Alexander sees nothing of interest there. The sand is...
Okay, I think it lowered it. Not too much, but it did.
Alexander pushes the plank to one side. A box has been partially buried under sand. The box must have opened in the sea, spilling its treasure. Everything has been washed away, except for one coin of Daventry. There's a copper coin in the treasure box. The coin bears the seal of Daventry and King Graham's noble faith. Alexander takes the coin and leaves the ruined box where it is. Alexander has no wish to disturb the green plant.
Okay, I think that's it for here.
To the left, a small village seems to invite the weary traveler. In the distance, a majestic castle shines in the sun. A hollow in the trunk of the old tree forms a perfect nesting place for wildlife. A grand old tree stretches its luxurious limbs out over the crossroads. Rocks abound on this lush volcanic isle. Rocks abound. The path splits here, forming a crossroads. One branch heads northeast towards a distant castle, and one leads northwest into a small village. Large leafy fir... There's a little hut just off the path. Perhaps the guard dogs have an occasional use for it, but it looks empty now. Rocks abound. The path from the crossroads continues north to the castle doors. A branch of the path leads off to the northwest, as though going around the castle. Formal hedges and bushes provide dramatic landscape. Two guards take their stance in front of the castle doors. They look quite fierce and have the stiff, blank expression of soldiers on formal duty. Formal hedges and two guards. The castle door. The castle appears to be of Moorish architecture. Its marbled walls and delicate inlaid mosaics are unlike anything Alexander has ever experienced before. His own home, though lovely and dear to his heart, seems rough-hewn compared to this delicate beauty. Alexander politely addresses the odd-looking guards at the castle doors, hoping to learn more about his predicament.
Good day to you, guards. I was cast upon this island in a storm, and I'm a little confused about my location. Could you tell me what place this is and who lives in this castle?
Hey, what is that you say? A castaway? A likely story. We haven't had any foreigners in this part since Alhazred arrived.
Don't be so rude, Gruff. He's not asking for any secrets. You're standing on the Isle of the Crown, lad, and this is the Castle of the Crown. The royal family resides here. Rather, what's left of the royal family.
The Isle of the Crown? But tell me, am I anywhere near the land of the Green Isles?
This is the land of the Green Isles. The Isle of the Crown is the main island, foolish boy.
Then Princess Cassima must live in this very castle.
Aye, the princess is indeed our treasured jewel to guard, and we consider it an honor.
Excuse me, guardsmen, guard dogs. I've been traveling for months to see Princess Cassima. I would like an audience, please.
I'm sorry, but the princess is not receiving visitors, particularly not strangers.
I really must see the princess.
Who are you that I should bother Captain Saladin, huh?
My name is Alexander. I am a prince of Daventry and a friend of the princess.
A prince, is it? I see. Yeah, and I am lord of this dusty path. Step aside. You'll not be getting into this castle without some proof of your claims.
No, whatever.
Alexander is carrying a copper coin of Daventry. King Graham graces the front of the coin. Alexander's ring is made of the purest gold and has the insignia of the royal family of Daventry on its face. There's no point in using that on the castle entrance, even if Alexander decides to try his royal insignia ring on the guards. With all of his papers lost in the shipwreck, it is the only possible proof of his identity that he can think of.
Now it works on this one.
Perhaps this ring will convince you of my identity. It is the royal insignia ring of Daventry.
Ha! I'm sure. Just let me take a look at that ring.
Well, I'm sorry, Your Highness. It's just that princes are so uncommon in these parts. Let me get Captain Saladin.
The guard returns a moment later with a majestic-looking creature. Captain Saladin speaks with a voice that is gentle, but reflects a will of iron.
Prince Alexander of Daventry, I presume. I'm afraid I'm unfamiliar with your country, but I'm sure Vizier Alhazred will want to meet you, if indeed you are a friend of the princess. Please, follow me.
I know this voice. Is that a voice from another Sierra game, or is it like a known voice?
Lord Alhazred, a visitor to see you. Prince Alexander of Daventry.
What is it that you seek, Prince Alexander?
Pardon the intrusion, my lord, but I came to see Princess Cassima. Some months ago, my father, King Graham, saved my family and I from imprisonment under an evil wizard named Mordak.
The same wizard that kidnapped the princess?
Exactly. When my father rescued us, he also liberated Cosima and sent her home.
Then your father has my gratitude, and that of the entire kingdom. But I'm afraid I still fail to see the purpose of your visit.
Well, I came to make sure that Cosima arrived safely and to pay my respects. Before we parted, she gave me an invitation to visit.
I have no doubt she did exactly that at the time, Prince Alexander. However, things have greatly changed for Cosima since her ordeal in Mordak's castle. Cosima's parents both became ill and died while she was gone. Cosima is sequestered in mourning for them as befits a princess. She is not receiving visitors of any kind. Even if she were, I do not think your visit would be appropriate. You see, it is time for Cosima to take her responsibilities seriously. With her parents gone, she no longer has the luxury to be a carefree maiden. As was her parents' wish, Cosima and I are to be wed. We shall rule the kingdom together. I assure you, our marriage is all Cosima wants now. As a prince and a gentleman, it would be best that you leave before there is any further embarrassment.
I see. I suppose that I was mistaken. I thought for certain that Cosima... Well, I apologize.
A young man sees what he wishes to see. I'm sorry you've wasted your time traveling to the land of the Green Isles. May your journey home be swift.
Perhaps I will take the opportunity to look around your fair land while I'm here.
I would advise against that. The kingdom is rather, shall we say, inhospitable these days. But it is your neck. You may risk it if you please. Captain Saladin will escort you from the castle. Good day.
You have had your hearing with Vizier Alhazred. I trust you will respect his wishes and not return. I have been instructed not to let you into the castle again. Good day, my lord.
Oh man, who's that guy?
Captain Saladin whispers something to the guard dogs at the castle gate, and they nod with understanding. Alexander has a feeling they won't be letting him into the castle again.
Nope. Want to know who voices Captain Saladin? Tony J. What has he done? Brotherhood of Steel. Legacy of Kain. Oh my god! He's the elder guy in Soul Reaver. He's also in Planescape Torment. And in Icewind Dale. But yeah, I only see Soul Reaver 2, but he's definitely doing the first one too. Yeah, Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver, Elder God, exactly. Ah, okay. Ah, such a great voice.
The path is well used enough already.
Yeah.
We are under orders not to let...
Okay, relax, dude.
Vines have begun to climb the castle's stucco wall. The side of the castle is one big blank wall. The side of the The bushes near the side wall of the castle have been left Alexander is standing next to the side wall of a castle. Unlike the well-guarded castle entrance, this area is deserted. Perhaps the guards are confident that the wall itself is impregnable enough to stop any would-be intruders.
Please, if
Be gone! You're not welcome!
A hollow in the... Alexander examines the tree's hollow, but Alexander can see no reason.
There's eventually a bird that comes here. Maybe it's later.
Alexander can see no reason to clamber about on the old tree. Alexander examines... Alexander can see no reason... Alexander... A grand old... Alexander is standing at a cross... A grand... The sign says pawn shop. The sign above the door says Ali's Books. Odd gourd-shaped jugs rest sheltered by the shade. They perhaps hold wine or water to be kept cool.
So did we get some points for doing all this? 8 points.
Old lamps for new! Old lamps!
A tall earthenware... A small round... There's a large... Alexander examines the large pot. It's currently empty, but a few scraps in the bottom indicate that it is used as a dump site on occasion. Alexander can enter... Alexander is not in the market for pottery. Alexander is... The battered Alexander isn't... The sign above the door...
Old lamp!
The dusty window of the bookshop looks out over the street in a welcoming way. The village buildings are made of rough sandstone stucco. This one has a shop on the street level and a private dwelling up above. Steps lead up to the shop door. The pants are too... The man seems busy with it. The villagers bustle about their...
Old lamps!
An old beggar is peddling his wares in the village. He offers a variety of lamps, all neatly lined up on a long pole. The old man, like most peddlers, Alexander will have to deal with the...
Good day, peddler.
Good day, sir. If you would like to get one of my fine new lamps, I'll need an old lamp in trade.
Isn't it a rather bad business? Taking old lamps and giving new lamps in exchange?
Well, there's always a chance that I'll find a genie. If I had a genie, I'd be richer than a king. Besides, there's always a roaring business in antique luminaries.
Good day!
A worn leather wineskin is suspended from the ceiling. A horn, probably used for drink or powder, hangs from the ceiling. The pawn shop is a dimly lit place with a slightly musty smell. Curiosities litter every corner and every shelf. For sale are articles that range from the bizarre to the commonplace, from the priceless to the practical. A strange-looking winged device occupies one corner of the room. It is frail with disuse. Alexander finds it intriguing. Perhaps he thinks it was once used in a local sporting event, in which enthusiasts jumped from cliffs, glided on air currents, and then attempted to land, frequently crunching a bone or two in the process. Alexander shudders at the thought and decides to stick to dragon slaying. Towering mightily over the other pawn shop curiosities, the stuffed bear makes an ostentatious display. The pawn shop is a dim... The back wall of the shop holds various odds and ends. For example, a hull hole detector for finding those hard-to-spot holes in small sailboats. Cat cookie mix. Play tricks on your friends, the box says. A golden bridle finder for finding those nearly invisible golden bridles. Self-adhesive emeralds, what you use when you don't have honey. Tongue climbing gear, tested on over 100 whale tongue. A uvula tickler, guaranteed to make large mammals sneeze. A cheese hook for retrieving cheese out of small holes. A shovel that's guaranteed not to break for over 100 grave digging. A bridge repair kit for when you've crossed a bridge one too many times. Stair traction pads. Stop slipping off those narrow staircases. A hull hole detector. The pawn shop owner is a mysterious fellow. His face is old and inscrutable, and there's a glint of sheer iron in his gaze. Still, Alexander senses this is someone he can trust. Cat cookie mix. The back wall of the shop. A bottle labeled Owl Courage Potion. A bottle of Gnome Begone. Miniature carpet cleaner for those castles in a bottle. Bird's nest soup mix, treasure not included. Garlic, especially grown for vampire resilience. Magic mirror glass cleaner for when your future looks fuzzy. Shark repellent. A small box of enchanted sorcerer's flea and tick collars. A bottle of gnome. Several half-burnt wax candles have been placed among the other pawn shop items. They probably light the shop at night. A tall skeleton lends an air of... A helmet, probably belonging to the headless armor also in the shop, has found its way to a separate part of the counter. The pawn shop is a lady's hand mirror has been separated from its original trousseau, and now gathers dust on the pawn shop shelves. The land of the Green Isles must have at least one inhabitant with interest in the mystical, for a crystal ball has been traded in along with the more common household goods. The pawn shop, a small red drum beats no more on the shelves of the pawn shop. The pawn shop is an old suit of armor stands in the pawn shop. It looks like a vigilant guard against thieves and carpet salesmen, even though it is headless. An elegant little glass dish decorates the countertop. The dish is full of green mints offered for the enjoyment of the customer. The pawn shop's counter is made of a sturdy teak. The wood... Alexander takes a closer look at...
I see you have noticed my mechanical nightingale. She is made of plain tin, but she sings the sweetest song you can imagine, barely distinguishable from the real thing.
Oh, okay, that's how you get the...
The flute is only made of plain wood, but its notes are fine and true. Ah, yes, the painter's brush. It was well used by one of the island's best painters. There's a lot of creativity in that brush, and its bristles are still in good condition. Have you an interest in tinder boxes? This one is only slightly battered. It holds a good supply of flint, a sturdy striking pan, and even a candle in case you find yourself with naught else to hold the flame.
There's a 7, and there's an 8. The 8th one is a third person point and click, but also action. We'll get there. And this is the best one.
There's nothing of...
This is the most
There's
known
nothing-
one. This is the one that makes all the lists of the best. Can I exit this? Okay. Let's talk to you, dude. No, let's take everything here.
Alexander prefers to... The stuffed bear probably has stuffed fleas. Alexander decides to keep his... If Alexander wants any...
Come on.
If Alexander... Perhaps it is true that our ancestors were smaller as a rule, for that suit of armor looks a pinch too tight to fit Alexander. Besides, in this climate,
Okay.
Alexander's musical abilities have always leaned more towards wind. Alexander...
You mean that flute? No, not really.
Alexander will...
You can't really soft lock yourself in this game.
If Alexander wants anything from the pawn shop...
But what can happen is...
If Alexander wants anything from
I
the...
have something to train.
If Alexander... Alexander already has a skeleton. Alexander...
Start.
Good day, merchant. What can you tell me about the land of the Green Isles?
I can tell you she is in a dark time. Without the ferry, communication between the islands has ground to a halt, and so nearly has my business. Why the long ages of peace have ended, and why the crown has not done something about it is beyond me. But then, I am a shopkeeper, not a politician, and can only hope for better days.
How bide you, good merchant?
Quite well, though a purchase would not hurt me.
How bide you?
Quite.
I think I can pawn this, at least for a while. Take it back later? I'm not 100%. There's multiple ways to do things in this game, and you might lock yourself out of an ending, a good ending. They're all good endings, but they're endings that are better than others.
I have this copper coin. Is it of any value to you at all?
Most interesting. I have never seen a Daventry coin before, but it is copper genuine enough. I might even find a buyer who is interested in foreign currency. The items on the front counter are the only things in the store that I can let go for the price of 1 copper. You may make your choice from there.
Alexander
I think I can
looks
always
at the items
come
on
and
the counter
exchange
to
my
make a
item.
selection.
So I can
That
take
mechanical
this.
nightingale.
Very well. Your coin is well spent.
I'll remember.
So I can come back here and use this on this guy.
Would you mind?
Certainly not.
Take
Alexander...
something else.
I'll take the...
Very good, sir. Enjoy.
Thank you. Would you mind?
Certain.
I think
That
this is what I need right now.
Very good, sir.
Thank you.
What happens if I do this?
Can you tell me, merchant, what the value of this ring might be?
He won't take it, I think.
By the sands of the sea, what a beauty! What fine gold and masterful artistry! This ring is quite valuable, sir. I would not feel right taking it in trade.
Truly? Well, it would be hard to part with it.
Yeah, we need this ring for one of the endings. So we're actually doing one of the things that are completely optional in the game. And one thing that the first time I played, I did not do. I think I did, but I didn't do completely. You'll see. Let's save here, whatever. I'm not sure this is it, but let's try it.
Alexander doesn't... Alexander whine...
A proper game. Yes, this is a proper game. Ah, maybe it's
Alexander...
not this.
Alexander...
Maybe it's the flute. There's a bird that's supposed to come here. Eventually. Maybe not. Yeah, 3 is very good. This is my favorite, but I haven't played it in a while. That's why I played all the King's Quests back to back. And 1, 2, 3 I never had played. 1, 2, 3, 4 I never had played. 4 was still pretty good. They're all good. But 3 was the best of the first 5. 5 was okay.
Old lamp!
I have bad memories of 5. The bitterness for me about
Hello. I will be right up.
it. This one is so good though.
Now, what can I do for you?
And this is one of the first point-and-click adventure game I played. Whatever. Oh.
A plaque bearing a merchant crest hangs over the doorway.
Okay, no. I wanted to go away, but I think this guy goes away.
An old man occasionally steals sidelong glances at Alexander from under a concealing hood.
This guy is something. Space Quest is by far my favorite. 5. I think you're mixing up like the timeline. Like take your 5, you thought it ended at 5? Well, like slide it like this. So you think it's 4, no it's 5, or 3, it's 5. The desert. It's kind of shitty. Yeah, that part's shitty.
There's a small table near the door that bears a sign. The sign has undergone a number of changes. It once read 10 pence, but that was crossed out and replaced with 5 pence, then 1 pence, then free. The sign currently reads, "Take one, please."
There were mints.
It looks like the bookshop owner really... There's only one book. It looks...
Let's get that book.
Alexander picks up the book from the small table.
Oh, yes, please, take that book. You have my most humble thanks for doing so, good sir.
Really? Thanks.
Twilight. That's awesome.
Alexander is carrying a book. Alexander opens the bargain book and reads a paragraph at random.
2 dulcimers raised to the degree of 40 half-dulcimers, divided into equal parts by the third of a cackle of grouse geese, put over...
Oh my.
Phew, what an incredibly boring...
Okay, maybe I can put something to... Yeah, this guy is the magician we saw in the castle. The one in the background that was like here. There was me, Captain Sullivan, and then there was the whatever, the bad guy. And there's a mage behind like this. He's the true bad guy, I think.
An old man occasionally...
Good day, sir.
The mysterious old man...
Let's touch it.
For some inexplicable reason, Alexander feels compelled to avoid this hooded...
Why?
Alexander is a little...
These are children's books?
A collection of children. A plaque. Alexander is standing in a cozy little shop. Books of every size and shape line the walls. A crackling fire in the fireplace completes the tranquil scene. A small fire burns in the fireplace despite the warmth of the day outside. Perhaps the bookshop owner simply finds it comforting. A stone fireplace gives the bookshop a quaint, cozy air.
Oh, I remember what this guy is.
These shelves hold a collection of oddly titled guidebooks. Alexander notices such books as How to Become King with Little or No Rupees Down, Finding the Right Girl with the Right Dowry, and Why Good Princesses Like Bad. These shelves, assorted travelogue, these shelves. There's a book entitled The Changing Role of Court Entertainers Through the Ages on the small table in the reading area. It appears that some regular customer likes that book. Alexander picks up and leafs idly through a book called The Changing Role of Court Entertainers Through the Ages. Well, that was right. The table is... The bookshop owner is a thin, middle-aged man. His intelligent eyes are slightly blurry from long nights spent reading by candlelight. An antique leather-bound book is displayed on a little stand on the counter. On the elaborate cover is the title, Ye Useful Book of Magic Spells.
Mm-hmm.
How much for that book on the counter, merchant?
It is a fine book, is it not? I obtained it from the estate of the one and only magician this kingdom has ever had. Poofed himself into an aardvark in the end, or so I heard. I never found the spells all that useful myself, but then I lead a boring life. I tell you what, if you can find another rare book, something a bit more marketable, I might be willing to exchange the spell book for it.
Got this book? Of course not.
Might I
Please, I had a...
No.
Good day, sir. I'm a stranger in this land. What can you tell me about the land of the Green Isles?
That is quite a question, young man. Who are you, and what would you have me tell you?
My name is
I'm not sure I
Alexander.
talked to the other,
I know I'm on the Isle of
other
the Crown,
shopkeeper.
but I'd like to know whatever you can tell me about this island, and if there are other islands nearby.
You are indeed a stranger. Anxious is the man who knows not the customs of the land beneath his feet. This island is called the Isle of the Crown, because the royal family's castle is here. Besides the castle, we also have this village, and the docks over to the west. There are at least 3 other islands: the Isle of the Sacred Mountain, the Isle of the Beast, and the Isle of Wonder.
At least 3? Does no one know for certain?
This is no ordinary land, Alexander. The land of the Green Isles has always been a place of vague boundaries, as if islands come and go. Legend speaks of a 4th island, an isle shrouded in mists. I myself have never seen it. Then, too, the land of the Green Isles is said to exist on the boundaries of this world and the next. Even darker places are reputed to be closer here than anywhere else in the world.
It's an orange beanie
That's
of wisdom
quite a
plus
claim.
1.
Claim, yes, but probably just local superstition. We who live here on the Isle of the Crown, at least, sleep well enough at night.
Those first 3 islands you mentioned, how might I learn more about them?
Ideally, a young man seeking such knowledge would travel to their shores and learn about them firsthand. Meeting the leaders of each place would be helpful, naturally. Unfortunately, the ferry no longer runs between the islands. There has been much political unrest, and it has been too dangerous to travel for years. Perhaps the ferryman can tell you more. He has little enough to do these days. And if you haven't been there already, you might seek an audience at the castle.
Thank you kindly, merchant.
Ah, but advice is free, Alexander. Making use of it costs much more.
How fare you, merchant?
Well, I would be better if I could only finish my manuscript. I am a budding novelist, you know.
How fare you? Good day, sir.
The mysterious...
Merchant,
No,
would you be interested?
it is a stunning ring, but I do not deal with jewelry and personal effects. Books and hard gold are all I can handle. You might check with my neighbor next door, though. He deals in such things.
The old man would not.
Would you accept this? Would you...
Good day.
Alexander. The small green... Alexander already had. Alexander eats the mint. Not bad. Alexander.
How bide you, good man?
Quite well.
How bide...
Quite.
Would you mind...
Certainly.
Alexander.
I'll take the...
Very good.
Thank you.
Alexander plays a... Alexander...
I think it'll come later. I think there's a cutscene or something. Okay. Do I take this? I don't know what to take with me.
Red roses beautifully cover...
I can pick up some.
Alexander has not been invited.
You lazy thing! Get back to work and stay away from those roses! I've told you 1,000,000 times! Those flowers are too sweet for the likes of you! You've still got to do the breakfast dishes, make lunch, and clean the stables yet this morning! And get your veil back on! No one...
Yes, Step.
Quick.
The girl is too... There is... Alexander...
Was I not fast enough? Maybe we need to do this later.
The girl is too far away to hold... Alexander doesn't want to intrude on private property unless he's been invited. Alexander... The girl is too... Alexander...
You and get...
The house is made of stucco in an architectural style native to the island. It is apparently quite old since climbing vines embrace steps lead. There's a young girl in the yard. The girl is dressed in a long, plain orange robe with a thick headdress. From the appearance of her clothes and from a skittish, fearful look about her, Alexander gets the strong impression that she is a servant, or even worse, a slave. The serving girl appears to be stealing a quiet moment tending the rose bushes. There are rose bushes back by the house. The gate is closed. Red roses beautifully cover the top. Alexander. The pot cannot be... Alexander...
Hey, stranger, come join me. The water is wonderful, and I can show you the way to the next island.
Yeah, right.
Considering the poor condition of the shore, it looks like the easiest way to get into the water is just to jump off the pier. The powerful currents grab Alexander.
Not a very good swimmer, are you? Sorry, I think not.
As his head submerges for the third...
Tickets only. Next.
Alexander couldn't handle those currents. That boy must be an unbelievable...
Oh, he has that flashing
Come on,
eye.
jump!
A young boy is... The ocean currents...
Good day. I'm Alexander.
What does it look like I'm doing? I'm swimming. I mean, come join me. The water's wonderful. I can show you the way to the next island. What are you waiting for? I said I'd show you how to get to the next island, didn't I?
A decrepit pier. The waters in this cove. A young boy is... Alexander is standing at the island's docks. Both the pier and the only boat in sight are in sad repair. That's strange. The young boy in the water just disappeared. Oh well, perhaps he just dove under the water. A worn wooden vessel has been dry docked on a jetty. The boat is in sad shape. A hole in the hull and the condition of its boards make it obvious that the vessel is no longer seaworthy. An old canvas bag full of sand hangs off the side of the boat. It was most likely used as a bumper when docking the boat against the pier, but it's rather pointless now.
It's weird that this is something.
Alexander wouldn't know what to do. A small hatch leads down into the cargo bay is unlikely to hold anything of interest or have a very pleasant smell.
Yeah, what do you want?
Alexander promises himself that he will not go home until he has determined what Casima's feelings are for him.
Excuse me. My name is Alexander. The owner of the bookshop in the village told me you might be able to help me. I hear you used to run this ferry for the islands. I'd like to talk to you if you have a moment.
You say old Allie sent you? I can't see why. The ferry's not running, you know.
I understand. I'd just like to talk to you about the islands if you don't mind.
Well, I guess it'd be all right if Allie sent you. Well, don't just stand there. Come on inside. What is it you wanted to talk about, young man?
I'm a visitor to these islands. I'd like to learn what I can about the area.
So you said outside. What is it?
Well, for one thing, why has the island's only ferry been dry docked?
It just ain't safe to sail these days. What with the islands feuding and all. Wazir Al-Hazred ordered the ferry closed till things settled down. Me, I don't think she'll ever see water again.
But why are the islands feuding?
You got me. Something about stolen property or some such thing. 'Tis a real shame. Things used to be so friendly.
Then this unrest is recent.
A few years is all, but it's been long enough.
Perhaps if the ferry were repaired.
This old thing? This ferry's been out of water so long she's no longer even seaworthy. Her boards have dry rot. She'd fall apart at the first taste of seawater.
But there must be some way to get off this island.
There's only one other way to travel that I know of. A magic map. The owner of the pawn shop can tell you more about that than I can, Alexander.
Tell me more about the...
I remember when I used to ferry Queen Ilaria and Princess Casima themselves. There was no thought of danger back then. They used to go visiting to care for the needy and to keep up the friendly relations between the islands. I remember their last trip. Things had started getting nasty by then, and when they came back aboard, I gathered that the Queen and the Princess had been received a bit coldly. Princess Casima was such a pretty thing, and she was terribly upset. But who could be spreading these lies, she asked the Queen, but the Queen had no answer.
What do you do now that the ferry...
Me? I'm out of a job. The job my ancestors have held for generations. I'm the only one trained to avoid the reef and the rocks. But that knowledge does me no good now.
Is there no other boat on the island? One that might be more seaworthy?
Boats don't last long on these shoals, as you may have found out if you got here by ship. You can be quite sure that this old ferry is, or was, the only craft on the island.
Tell me more about...
Ah, such a beautiful child, and so pure of heart. Why, a contrary thought has never crossed her mind. Her mother was the same. The king and queen. They served the islands, not the other way around. Always thinking about the people. Ah, they are sorely missed.
What else can you tell me?
Let's see. The Isle of Wonder's a lovely spot. A bit crazy, mind you. Gotta have a good sense of humor to enjoy a tour there.
What else can you
The Isle of the Beast is pretty, but unfortunately, you can't get very far onto the island.
What else can you...
The inhabitants of the Isle of the Sacred Mountain are the most gorgeous creatures you'll ever see. If you ever get to see them, that is.
What else can you...
The Castle of the Crown sure is a beauty. She's the finest palace ever built, Awa.
What else can you...
Some say that the land of the Green Isles is near the edge of the world, and that the deadly currents are a result of a magnetism that sucks life from this world to the next. Of course, that's just silly talk.
What else can you...
Let's see.
There's a rabbit's foot on the table.
I see you have a rabbit's foot. Has it brought you much luck?
As you can see, my luck's been out for some time now, despite that old Why don't you take it with you? Perhaps giving the darn thing away will bring me...
Perhaps it will...
Alexander doesn't want to take the ferryman's lamp. Alexander doesn't want to take... Alexander isn't in the mood for a nap. The ferryman's bunk looks hard and uncomfortable. The ferryman is a disgruntled-looking man who is probably a lot younger than he appears. Despite his tired air, he watches Alexander pay. The cabin door. Alexander is sitting inside the ferry's cabin. The place displays the neatness of a seaman and the sparseness of a bachelor. There are few frills and comforts in the rough wooden environment, but the sunlight shines cheerily on the oaken beams, and the portholes admit a pleasant...
What else?
The Isle of...
Alexander...
Would you be a...
Nah.
Would you be...
Nah.
Would you be...
Nah.
Would you be in...
I don't need charity.
Well, I think I'll be going now. Thanks for allowing me into your home.
Posh, not at all. It breaks the boredom, if you know what I mean.
Okay, I'll take a break here and we'll be back in a couple of minutes with more King's Quest 6.
It's like interior of a sandcrawler, the Mos Eisley Bar, to your final confrontation with the awesome Death Star. All the action from the movie is here, but the outcome is up to you. Do you have what it takes to take on the Empire? Find out with Super Star Wars, available now.
brought to life through first-person 3D Mode 7 graphics. Super Empire Strikes Back lets the player take on a variety of roles from the Star Wars saga. You begin the adventure as Luke Skywalker, battling through the icy caves and plains of Hoth with your blaster and lightsaber. Then, jump into your snowspeeder to defend the Rebel base against the amazing Imperial walkers. As Han Solo, you must fight your way to the Rebels' Echo base to get to the Millennium Falcon. Escape Imperial forces by seeking safety in an asteroid field. As Chewbacca, you head for Cloud City in search of Han's old smuggling buddy, Landau Calrissian. And of course, all the action is accompanied by digitized sound effects and music, all taken directly from the movie.
We've chased the cybrids to the end of the galaxy and are preparing some of the most destructive machines ever built. The Juggernaut, the Reaper, the Demon, the Shadow. Each carries special weapons, lasers, and missiles which you must purchase and upgrade. Each Herc is piloted by a genetically engineered bioderm whom you create, customizing skill levels and attributes. Using StimGlan, you can improve your bioderm's performance in battle at the risk of making them genetically unstable. You will face unlimited scenarios across ever-changing battlescapes where everything depends on you. View your forces from 6 different angles and infinite altitudes. Fight on battlefields with dozens of elevations. Control up to 26 different Hercs in battle at once as you struggle to destroy the Cybrids. Improve your Hercs with new weapons and new technology as you destroy...
Back. She's not there. Let's go back. See if this is random or something.
Good day.
A mysterious old man also paid.
Good day, sir.
The old man just...
Excuse me, merchant, but the ferryman mentioned that you might have a magic map of the land of the Green Isles.
Why, as a matter of fact, I do. I keep it under the counter. It's been gathering dust so long that I nearly forgot about it. It was quite a few years ago, you see. The estate of a wealthy wizard fell into my hands when he died. It was useless magical junk mostly, which reminds me, I've still got some things of his in the back that I need to dump out. Anyway, the magic map was the one true treasure in the lot. The wizard was quite old and feeble and had enchanted the map to aid in traveling. It is said that one need only desire to be on an island depicted on the map to find oneself there. It is a very valuable map, as you can imagine. Unfortunately, no one is interested in traveling these days. It is far too dangerous with the current state of the kingdom.
What would you take for the map?
I would normally want something magic in return, but since I am hardly overrun with prospective buyers, I would be willing to take anything of equal value in exchange.
I think I can give him the ring, but that's not good. I need to use the ring. This maybe?
Would you be interested in... Would you be willing to take my family ring?
Daventry?
No, that's my father, King Graham. I'm just Alexander.
Well, Prince Alex, she is a beautiful ring. Are you sure you can part with such a unique family heirloom?
The ring does mean a lot to me. I didn't always have a family, you know. Still, it is only gold. There are more important things at stake now.
Then you now own a magic map, Prince Alex. I will keep your ring out of sight for a few days. If you find anything else of great value in your travels, you can come back for your ring. I would hate to see it melted down for gold. Ah, and a warning about the map. It will only operate when you are out in the open and within sight of the sea. The limitation has something to do with the teleport spell ingredients. You might try the beach.
Thank you. You are very kind. And I'll remember about the map.
Suddenly, the old man in the concealing cloak sneaks past Alexander, and with a sneaky dart of his hand, steals a mint from the candy jar. The old man stuffs the mint into his mouth and wobbles unsteadily out of the pawn shop.
I don't know why this scene I remember so clearly.
Well, hello, Mr. Fancy Pants.
Van Osdell, thanks for the follow.
Master! I followed Prince Alexander as you wished. From the pawn shop owner, he just abstained, just reprieved. He just got a magic map.
What's his problem?
You fool! You've been eating those mints again. I ordered you to stop that.
Yes, Master. Now, what is this about a magic map? With a map, Prince Alexander could travel anywhere as quickly as I can.
I thought I took care of the only means of travel. By my scimitar, I can't have him stirring things up now. Get a hold of yourself and listen carefully, Shamir. Go to the other islands and tell them...
Hey, Van Osdell. Yes, I'm ready for some King's Quest 6, definitely. Okay. So we can move out of this island now. This guy's not there anymore. Okay. Ah, there you go. But I don't have anything to give him.
Alexander plays.
Yeah, we did the whole series. And I did beat this game about like 20 years ago, so I do remember it. But yeah, maybe more than 20 years ago even. The last time I played it multiple times, but it's been a while.
Alexander already had.
I have a mint. Yeah, I'll give this to you.
Would you mind?
Of course,
Alex.
Yeah.
That mechanic.
Very good, Prince.
Thank you.
I think this will bring the bird closer, but I still don't have anything to give him. Yeah, the Space Quest series and the Quest series at least, they're my favorite. This maybe?
Alexander winds the mechanical nightingale and places it on the... The mechanical nightingale sings a sweet, tinny tune. The real nightingale in the tree cocks her head and listens intently. The nightingale flies to a lower branch and looks at Alexander curiously, as if she were deciding that this human might not be so bad.
I'm not so bad. I have a mechanical nightingale.
The nightingale sings. The nightingale looks at Alexander curiously.
Hello. Is any...
Alexander gets...
No, talk to...
Hello, little...
The nightingale only looks at Alex...
Okay, I don't think I need this anymore. So we're gonna take the flute. I don't know. What's the next item that I need to pick up? There was a time I knew exactly what I was doing in this game. And I'll give him this.
Would you mind?
Of course, Alex.
I'll take the
flute?
Thank you.
What was the other thing?
Good day.
Oh, was
The
that
counter,
a lamp?
the
Am I
pawn
stupid and I could have exchanged that lamp?
How fair?
No, no, no.
Would you mind?
Of course, Alex. A battered tinder box is displayed.
Oh, that's a tinder box.
I believe I'll...
Very good.
Thank you.
That's
the
a
pawn
light
shop's
source,
tinder
right?
box is slightly battered, but in reasonably good shape. The tinder box contains a candle, as well as some flint and tinder.
Okay.
If Alexander...
Would you...
I'll take that.
Of course, Alex.
I'll take...
I don't know.
The flute.
Thank you.
That's a guess. I'm just looking around again, but pretty sure we'll never have to do anything here again. Oh, we need to be on the beach to use the map. Did you see the walkthrough? Did I see them? No, I'm not using any walkthrough right now. I checked walkthroughs once in a while, yeah. No, what am I doing? I think the Rose girl would be there. Ha!
The girl is too far away.
Oh, come on. Ah, this maybe.
Are you out here,
Yes, stepmother. The house and the stables are clean.
Alexander plays a love. The serving girl near the house does not respond to Alexander's flute.
Then start polishing the silverware! Do I have to tell you everything?
Yes, stepmother. Right away.
Damn.
Alexander the servant.
No. Wait. What's this?
Alexander is standing on a... Alexander sees... Alexander... Alexander pulls...
The magical map. Out of Wonder, out of Sacred Mountain, out of the Beast. Let's go with this one. And there's one here, I think. Somebody. Yeah, I think so.
Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation. One of the oysters is sitting up in bed and doesn't look very happy. He seems to be the only one who can't sleep. In the oyster's mouth, Alexander can see a glint of white.
Oh, I think this is where I use the one to make him sleep. I'm gonna make him sleep. Can we talk to him?
Why aren't you asleep like the other oysters?
Oh, I'm so weary, but I can't sleep. I have a terrible ache in my mouth.
Yeah, these voices are awesome.
One of the oysters is sitting up in bed and doesn't look very happy. He seems to be the only one who can't sleep. In the oyster's mouth.
Yeah, I think I never played with the voices, and it really adds to the experience. A pretty good voice, I think. I'm not in love with the narration.
Large craggy boulder.
But it's neutral, to the point. Not like, for example, some people really dislike the narration in Gabriel Knight. Because it's a Creole woman and she talks very slowly with a big, thick accent. I like it, but
one of the oysters is...
It's not for everybody.
In the oysters...
yeah, this.
If you're having trouble sleeping, perhaps you'd like me to read to you.
Hey, that would be great!
Two dulcimers raised to the degree of 40 half-dulcimers, divided into equal parts by the third of a cackle of grouse geese, put over the result of 10 fine mackles, albeit small fine mackles, stretched over the total of 53 1/8 bottles of wild beast lard.
Oh shit.
Yields a gilded minnow of precise measurements, 2,069 centidrills by 3,023 6/7 puns, not punts, as might be expected. This is not to say, however, in any sense whatsoever, that deviations in mean temperature of 5 or 6
Should we
dregs
still
or
go
so
on to see what's the next? Let's see.
indicate a fabrication or derivation sufficiently broad enough to exacerbate the conclusions uncovered in due course with regards to the dimensions, consistency, mass, or thickness inherent in the menial suckling grouse.
Oh.
Alexander makes a grab for the pearl.
Hey! You fixed my mouth! It feels great!
The little oyster drifts into peaceful slumber with the rest of his oyster friends. Alexander is standing on a rocky beach. To the north is dense tropical vegetation. Near the shore are a dozen or so oyster beds. Alexander is to the north. The blue ocean stretches on for as far as Alexander can see. A string of letters floats in the water. The letters spell out, "Where are you going?" Alexander's heard of alphabet soup, but this is ridiculous. Alexander picks up the object floating in the water. It appears to be a string of letters. They say, "Where are you going?" Alexander decides to keep the odd sentence, even though it is incomplete. Alexander hears someone coming.
"5 fierce guards of the isle we be. Watch for a foreign man," said he, "with ears and nose, tongue, hands, and eyes. Its nature cannot be disguised. If man it be, then man it dies."
If I'm a man, I die.
Smell your smell. Do that which you do so well.
I'm fucked. It needs to smell something else than the human, or I die.
Alexander holds the...
"My nose cannot be tricked that way.
Uh-oh.
A man, so Sarah knows, into the waiting sea he goes."
Oh, fuck. Maybe I need to go to the other islands then. dead.
The gnomes toss Alexander too far out into the sea for him to get his footing.
We know the drill. We need to see other death scenes than him drowning now. Tickets.
Tickets only. Next.
Guess those gnomes couldn't reach a Alexander hears some.
Okay, so as soon as I try to move out of here,
Alexander
could try something else. We need something that smells. And nothing smells here.
Alexander
I know.
Okay, I think we might be out of here.
The flawless pearl is the largest Alexander.
The pearl might be. I might be able to exchange.
Alexander feels a strange.
I love the fast traveling in this game. It's really cool. Let's see if she has something else to say. Oh. Yeah, what about this?
The cargo bay. The boat. The boat. The boat.
No,
the,
I want to talk
the,
to the
the
guy
boat.
inside the... Can I go there? He's gone. I'm going there.
Oh, it's you.
I didn't want to talk to him
I'll go.
necessarily. Let's show him the map. I got
Would
the
you
map.
be at all?
Nah.
What about this?
Alexander sees.
Would you be at?
Nah.
What else?
The inhabit.
Well,
You're all.
I think I'll be able to get my ring back.
Good day.
I found this large pearl. Might it?
I have never seen such a perfect pearl.
Oh, I'm glad you didn't sell it. I'm a...
Of course you are. You would be cold-hearted if you felt any differently. I am happy to see a fan.
Nice. Okay. So here you can give this bird the ring.
Alexander holds out his royal ring to the nightingale. To Alexander's surprise, the nightingale swoops down and grabs the ring from his hand. The nightingale flies off towards the castle with Alexander's ring. Where might she be taking it?
Oh shit, we don't see it? Maybe I'm fucked. This is not what I need to do.
Alexander.
Because I need to... you can send a rose. That was an obvious thing. So I'm not sure I'm going to send this now. I'm not sure anymore. Because I think you can fuck this up. Because the first time I played... I sent a rose. I didn't think about the ring. I got the ring back. I didn't think about using the ring on this. So I gave the rose to the bird, and I think the bird brought it to... I can't remember exactly how the bird brought it to Cassima. Maybe I need to... make the bird understand to go to Cassima. I don't know how to do that.
Alexander plays his flute. Alexander, the little bird.
That's funny.
The little bird.
I show all the objects to the little bird.
The night.
What did it say about this? It was different.
Alexander, the nightingale seems to have a
natural distaste.
It.
Yeah, so, and I remember a cutscene where she got the rose and she was like, "Where is this from?" And she was wondering where it's from. That's why you need to send a ring so that she knows it's you. I don't know why I didn't thought of that back then. And because of that, you get a slightly worse ending. I can't remember exactly what's the ending. So I'll hang on to the ring for now. This game seemed to be more compartmentalized than I thought.
Alexander.
Because now I can't go further into the wonder here without the things to go further into the wood. Like 5 things. Something that smells something, something that... Oh, the paw is for the touching. So this is the island of the Sacred Mountain.
Alexander feels a
pretty big ring, a pretty big. Oh, we got a ton of stuff here. Okay. Oh yeah, I remember this.
There appears to be something etched into the face of the cliff. Alexander decides.
I still don't know what to do. Okay, yeah, I just remember. It's like so vivid. Yeah, exactly, definitely.
The rock has been etched by some unknown hand. One may need to read about the Logic Cliffs in the guidebook to the Land of the Green Isles in order to understand this mystical inscription.
Oh?
The rock has been etched by some unknown hand. One may need to read about the Logic. The rock.
Yes.
Nothing happened.
Yes.
Alexander notices an unusually large coal-black feather lying on the beach. There's an ugly flower growing near the base of the cliff. Alexander picks the flower and is startled by its hideously strong skunk-like odor. For a moment he can smell nothing else. Alexander takes the feather.
Wow, you guys really loves your King Quest 3. Yeah, it's good, it's good. I'm not sure I would replay it though. I don't know, maybe in a couple of years. This has such a good story and it's so beautiful to look at.
The ocean appears. There are.
Yeah, okay. So are there all the islands like this where you have access to one little area, you have items that are easy to pick up? Here 2 items, other place 2 items too, the word and the pearl. Pearl had to do like the thing there.
Alexander.
What happens if I go here?
Alexander.
Island of Beast. What's the beast? The beast is kind of a joke, yeah. This doesn't look beast. Doesn't look dangerous at all. This place is supposedly dangerous. Beast Island.
A little fawn is feeding on a grassy hillock near the sea. Tall, narrow trees abound on each side. This heavily forested isle is dotted with rough granite. Nearby, the stump of a fawn. The water seems tranquil. Alexander. The fawn is too busy. Alexander doesn't want to do anything.
And I can't get through this without... I need to throw something in this.
A pond lies across...
Oh, let's go die.
A pond.
Ouch! That water is hot.
No, go in.
Ouch!
Alexander decides to brave the boiling pond.
Yes! Oh my god.
And soon realizes a deep sympathy for soup vegetables as he learns the true meaning of being in a stew.
Yeah, Gabriel Knight won, and the entire...
Next.
And the entire Space Quest series are my favorite point-and-click game. I also like almost every single LucasArts game, but Gabriel Knight and Space Quest 1 through 6, the entire series, I just love it so much. So good. They're quick, good games. There's nothing bad about them. There's nothing... There's no grind. Like, if I want to play Quest for Glory, I'm like, oh, I need to grind. King Quest, there's a lot of little things in the first King Quest that are kind of boring, and I don't know, they're kind of boring games. I don't think they add anything to them. Especially King Quest 1 and 2. But Space Quest 1 and 2 are still a good story, good characters. It's a fun game.
Alexander is standing at the edge of the sea on a heavily forested island. As far as the eyes can see, tall trees spread out their branches as though straining to link arms, their tops forming a canopy above. A path leads north through the forest. A rabbit hops about rather fearlessly. It's probably never even seen a human.
Let's catch it.
Alexander would look pretty silly diving for that rabbit. There's no way he could catch it.
With his hands? Oh, can I actually catch it? I don't think so.
Alexander doesn't want to do...
Okay, we need to deal with that, but I don't think we can deal with that now. I think we need to go back.
Alexander... Alexander feels...
Yeah, I used to like it when I was young, but nowadays I have less time and I prefer a good story than grinding. This is how I relax, being told a good story with good characters. I need to be... I'm a very impatient guy, so I need to be entertained every time, all the time. So that means grinding is boring. Essentially. Yeah. That's just how it is.
Alexander...
No,
Alexander feels a strange pulling sense.
I think I might have all the items to figure out these guys here. Maybe. Whatever, let's try it, whatever. Let's go.
Alexander here.
Oh, we need to go back to the bookstore too. Maybe ask for a book about the glyphs on that rock face.
5 fierce guards of the Isle we be. Old Tom Troll, smell.
Smell. That's the easiest one, I guess.
Alexander holds the flower of stench out.
Tom Troll I am, that's all I'll be. My nose knows all on land and sea. A flower of stench has washed ashore. A flower 'tis all, and nothing more.
Oh no, each time we're gonna come here, they're gonna go away.
Listen,
No?
hark you,
Okay.
Gryffindor. Do your duty as you swore. With your ears, please tell us more.
Oh, the ears, so at least I have the flute. That should work.
Alexander plays.
A flute, it's true, is a harmless thing, but the man who blows it, there's the sting.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, oh, flute, that's not that. I'm dead.
Alexander.
And we need the nightingale, I guess. The mechanical
Alexander.
nightingale. I thought I would remember more of this game. I don't remember. I remember less than King's Quest V for some reason. And I played this like at least like twice more easily. I finished this game at least 3 or 4 times maybe. Between when it came out and what it came out in 92. So yeah, between 92 and 2000 I may have played it about 4 times. Yeah, nothing's happening here anymore. Let's go to the bookstore, see if I can get a book about those glyphs.
Hello. I will
this
be
guy.
right up.
I remember you. I remember you.
Now.
An odd-looking man is reading in the stuffed chair. He wears a vest, balloon-style pants, and pointed shoes. There's something deliberately silly about the man, as though he were a performer of some sort.
Good day, sir. Is there anything you can tell me about the land of the Green Isles?
I'm sorry, but I have no time for idle conversation. I'm too worried about the princess.
Excuse me.
I told you I'm not interested in talking to strangers.
My ring.
Determined to learn more about the strange man's relationship with the princess, Alexander shows the man his insignia ring and formally introduces himself.
I'm sorry to insist, but my name is Alexander of Daventry, and...
I appreciate the offer of the ring, Alexander, but I'm afraid I'm already spoken. Daventry? Where have I heard of Daventry? Flying flit mice. You must be Prince Alexander. Cosima told me about you when she arrived home. How came you here?
Why, by a ship now wrecked upon the sand. But you know Cosima? She truly spoke of me?
Yes, I saw her briefly when she first returned home. She mentioned a prince to me. Prince Alexander of Daventry. I'm afraid that was before she was told about her parents' deaths. You see, she arrived home a few weeks too late. The king and queen thought they'd never see her again. It is said they died of heartbreak. I'm afraid she's blamed herself.
What a terrible homecoming. If we had only known.
Terrible indeed, poor thing. Everyone in the kingdom seems to despair with her these days. The streets are silent.
Where is she now?
The princess is sequestered in mourning. It's a rather dated tradition, and not required, but the Wazir says she insisted out of respect.
I see. You've yet to say who you are, and how you know the princess.
I? Oh, pardon me. My name is Charlo. I am clown to the royal court, and have been since the marriage of Cosima's parents, King Calipham and Queen Alaria. Oh, those were the happy days. The pair of them were so full of joy and life, so in love. And Cosima's birth. It would be hard to explain how long they had waited, how they had hoped for a child. I mean, she was such a charming little thing, smart as a whip. Kind and sweet. Oh, she means everything to this kingdom, Alexander, and to me. I'm so terribly worried about her.
About her grief over her parents, you mean?
Well, the truth is, I do not trust the Wazir or his plans for Casima. I'm still living at the Castle of the Crown as court clown, his clown. But it is more to keep my ear to the ground than out of loyalty. I wish I knew what the princess thinks these days. If only I could find Sing Sing, Casima's pet nightingale. I might be able to send the princess a message. As it is, I must wait for the end of her seclusion. Now I'm afraid I must hurry back to the castle. I'll try to return to the bookshop again later.
So he's telling you to send a message.
Thank you for speaking with me, Jalo. I hope we meet again soon. How fare you, merchant?
Quite well.
Okay, so do I need to pick up a book here?
Right now, Alexander isn't interested in the cookbooks on that shelf. He's had an aversion to cooking ever since he experimented with a certain cookie recipe involving cat hair and fish oil. Alexander is a little... Right, there's no reason... There's nothing... Alexander feels his pockets carefully. Alexander is... Thinking of Casima, Alexander decides to leaf through one of the volumes of love poetry.
Oh, yeah.
He reads, "Thy hair, thy lips, thy beauteous face, and all thy studied female grace have won for thee anon a place within this broken breast."
I can send her this.
Not bad. "Upon the shore the lilies bend, untouched by worldly care, where shadow they her earthly bed. Oh, that she were not there." Yikes. And what was it when I looked at you? What power has chained me through and through, and binds my heart with links so tight I cannot live without the sight of you? What nameless thing has captured me, and made me powerless to flee? What thing is it without a name, that brings my mind e'er back the same to thee? The name of love cannot apply. Its commonness does not decry the haunted, hunted, painful cry that my heart makes for you, that e'er my soul eternal makes for you.
A little close to home, that one.
Alexander returns the love poem. Alexander picks... It's the love poem he particularly liked.
I see that old volume has lost another page. You may keep it if you like, sir. I have glued the stubborn thing back in place 2 times already.
I do rather like it. Thank you, merchant.
Alexander has a love poem. Alexander, what was it when I looked at you? What power has chained me through and through, and binds my heart with links so tight I cannot live without the sight? What nameless thing has captured me, and made me powerless to flee the name of love?
Okay.
Alexander picks up and leaves. Well, that was...
So how do I ask this guy about books?
How fare you?
Business could be better.
How might I...
As I said.
Prayer book.
There's no... Alexander looks at the love poem
again. Hey, from the wall.
Thy hair.
Yeah, this game is awesome.
Upon Alexander...
These are self-help books, all of them?
These shelves hold a collection of oddly titled guides, assorted travelogues. These shelves, Alexander is standing in a collection of children's books fill those shelves.
Because you put the comma just after it. So the command is A and not a comma. And I think the caps is also important, but I made it that A with and without caps works.
The nightingale looks at Alexander. The nightingale.
Hello, little nightingale.
The nightingale only looks at Alexander.
This is Sing Sing. But does he know it's Sing Sing? I can send this. I can send the rose, and I can send. Maybe now he's gonna tell him something when I said it. Sing Sing.
Alexander holds out the love poem to the nightingale, hoping that she perhaps is the nightingale that Jallo spoke of, and that she might be able to take the words of love to her mistress, Cassima.
I want to try the
nightingale.
Like, I wonder if the order actually
She flies off towards the castle, perhaps to Cassima?
Ah, there you go. Hey, Blackjack, good evening, good night to
what
you.
have you found? A scrap of paper? Oh, this is no mere bit of paper, but words of love. Who sent this? It must have been Abdul. Oh, Sing Sing, will he never give up? You must be careful, pretty bird.
Yeah, no. We need to send the ring first.
Alexander holds out his insignia ring to the nightingale, hoping she perhaps is the nightingale that Jallo spoke of, and that she might be able to take the ring to Cassima. The ring is the one thing he has that might alert Cassima to his presence on the Isles.
Yeah, it's also the only one I have.
She flies off.
So you need to know that this is the
Sing
right
Sing,
bird.
what have you got in your mouth, my pretty? A gold ring? Sing Sing, where did you get this? Realm of Daventry. But this is Alexander's ring. Oh, my soul, he must be here. Sing Sing, I wish you could tell me what you've seen. Is he really here then, on this very island? Oh, if only I could leave this castle as easily as you. Take this ribbon, Sing Sing. If you know where he is, return it to him. Please be careful, Alexander. It is so dangerous, and yet I could not wish you away.
I'm just afraid I might need the ring later, so I will reload after doing all this. Let's see what happens if I do this after giving the ring.
Alexander holds.
The snake isn't there anymore.
The nightingale swoops down, grabs the love poem.
Sing Sing, my sweet, you bring a... It is a poem, Sing Sing.
What was it when I looked at you?
Oh, Alexander. I was hoping he'd return to you. Take this to him while he waits. Hurry, my fleet one.
Okay, each time she gives me something in exchange. And I can send her a rose to maybe some other things. Can't get a rose yet anyway.
The little bird.
It's another poem.
It's a note.
Dearest Alexander, I cannot believe you are here, my friend. Please, please be careful. Abdul isn't about to let anyone interfere with his plans. Watch out for Abdul's genie, Alexander, and do not do anything rash. I am not without resources, and I will prevail if I can only find some small means of defense. Do nothing to try to get to me. You must not be endangered again for my sake.
Alexander's hand trembles as he reads the note. For the first time in his long search, he has heard her voice again, if only in writing. No words of love, only friendly concern. Friend. Is the maiden merely shy, or does she regard him only? It's a red velvet hair ribbon. Could it be?
Or am I merely wishing it were...
Let's restore just in case. I wonder if I need to send a flower before the poem.
Alexander.
Oh, did I get? I didn't get the nightingale.
Good day.
The pawn.
Would you mind?
Of course.
I'll take the
flute.
Thank you.
Dumbass.
Would you mind?
Of course.
Alex.
That
Very.
Thank you.
Alexander doesn't. The pot. Alexander. Alexander.
No, don't go back.
That would. That. Alexander. Alexander.
They can bill me.
Hey Dave, good evening. Yeah, just moving on to another
Alexander.
area. Let's bring them all here. Let's see if we can do this. The smell.
Alexander.
Tubbed.
Okay, let's save in between these dudes.
Listen.
Alexander winds the tea.
Oh, this should work. Okay, this seems to work.
A nose is not a way to spy. My ears cannot be told a lie. A nightingale is all there be. No man is near, and so...
Taste.
Taste.
Of course. The mint.
Alexander holds the mint out for the gnome with the gigantic mouth.
Grumflump
What about
knows
the
a tasty
eyes?
treat. It matters not what others bleat. No danger is this one, so... Trilly dilly, use your...
I'm fucked with the last guy.
Alexander holds the item out.
My hands cannot be led astray.
Nope.
Alexander holds...
Shit.
Be all you mad? What
Okay.
aileth thee?
But the last one, I don't know. I think I'm fucked. God damn it.
Oh, Bill better.
He'll just open his eyes and it'll be over. This?
Alexander holds...
I need a,
My eyes cannot...
I need a mirror or something. There is a mirror.
Alexander...
I will have to go through this again. Through all those fuckers.
Alexander.
A mirror, that's... I don't think that's the thing, but I know there is one. That's what pops into my mind, so... maybe because I remember it, I don't know. No, this ain't it.
Now.
Good day.
If Alexander wants anything from the pawn shop, he'll have to first...
And we need the nightingale, so I can't take anything else here. Let's try everything we have, just in case. The map.
Alexander holds the...
I can't remember how...
Alexander.
No idea what I don't remember it at all. When I'm gonna find the item, I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, of course that's it. I don't think that's it.
Alexander.
So that's pretty much it. Definitely not the ring.
Alexander.
No.
Alexander. Alexander.
We didn't pick up anything on this island.
If the tree Alexander has the trees have Alexander to take. Alexander has no need.
There's nothing on the screen.
The ocean is.
The music is like, hey, you're gonna die, fucker. No. I want to touch the mushroom.
Alexander.
What's this?
Alexander is carrying.
Oh, this is some other puzzle. I can't remember exactly what it is, but... What's the other items in the pawn shop? There's a flute, there's a tinder. What's the other one?
Alexander.
Good day.
The counter.
Would you mind?
Of course,
Alex.
Paintbrush. I know when I'll need this, I think.
I'll take the... Thank you.
The magic map does. Alexander. Alexander doesn't want to do. Alexander plays a. That would have to do it. To get to the lamp, Alexander plays a lovely.
I'm wondering if that
Alexander.
if this part here on the rock may be part of a copyrighted system.
There appears to.
Because I didn't read the manual. So maybe this is something. Oh, you can't unclick them. Once they're clicked, they're clicked.
Nothing happened.
I think you need to write open, I think. No, open doesn't work. Door? No. Well, D-O-O-R. I like to do it in. Let's see.
Nothing happened. There appears.
But it says.
The rock has been etched by some unknown hand. One may need to read about the logic cliffs in the guidebook to the.
Okay, should I check that out? I was about to kind of end the stream, so I think that's what I'm gonna do instead of looking up the thing on stream. So we're gonna end here. End 1. Okay. Next time we're gonna play this will be on Thursday. Tomorrow, I'll be able to stream before 8 p.m. tomorrow. 8 p.m. it's Ultima 7, but before 8 p.m. there'll be some Deus Ex, a non-lethal run on hard. I almost did it on realistic, but we're gonna go hard just in case. I don't think it would be that bad, because I should be hit. So yeah, we finished with the System Shock 2 fan mission, so we're gonna do Deus Ex. In preparation to do more System Shock 2 and Deus Ex mods and fan missions, total conversions and stuff like that. Yeah, that's it. Let's read somebody. Let's raid Mac. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great night. See you next time. Ciao.
Thank you for your cooperation. Good night.
I'll buy that